A few years ago, there was a time when Nirav Modi was on his way to becoming the most premium luxury jewelry brand in Asia. Today, Nirav Modi is a fugitive Indian businessman. He is wanted by India for criminal conspiracy, breaching and money laundering, and scamming the Punjab National Bank for over 11,400 crore rupees. In February of 2018, when the Nirav Modi PNB scam came to light of the general public, all hell broke loose. However, it was even before that Nirav Modi had fled to the United Kingdom, escaping the criminal charges in India. So welcome to a new episode of What Went Wrong. Today we are going to explore the rise and fall of one of India's biggest jewelry brands, Nirav Modi, who had a net worth of almost 2 billion only a couple of years ago and today is arrested and lies in a jail in London. As always, this video will be divided into 3 parts. Part 1 will explain the rise of Nirav Modi, his brand of jewelry. Part 2 will take a detailed look at the PNB Nirav Modi scam in 2018 that had already been going on for a few years at that point. And part 3 will of course focus on the current situation of Nirav Modi and the progress in his arrest and the criminal charges that are against him. There are timestamps on your screen if you want to skip ahead to a certain section, and without any further delay, let's begin analyzing the rise and fall of Nirav Modi and the 2018 Punjab National Bank scam. Let's begin. Nirav Modi was born in a family that had already been in the diamond business for several generations. At the age of 19 years old, Nirav Modi and his father moved from Belgium to Mumbai to work in his uncle Mehul Choksi, who is the head of the Gitanjali Group's business. Nirav Modi also dropped out of the Wharton School in the University of Pennsylvania, where he met his wife, who is also the daughter of a diamond businessman, Amukraj Choksi. So it's fair to say that Nirav Modi always had its hand in the midst of the diamond business in India. With all the expertise and knowledge in his business, Nirav Modi opened his first flagship store in Defence Colony, New Delhi, which was followed by the Kala Ghoda store in Mumbai, which was again followed by a store in New York City on Madison Avenue, which was opened by Donald Trump, and again a store in Hong Kong. It's then fair to say that Nirav Modi had quickly established his name as one of the premier Indian businessmen in the jewelry scene, especially in the business of diamond trading and jewelry making. In 2010, Nirav Modi became the first Indian jeweler to be featured on the cover of Sotheby's and Christie's auction catalogs. His jewels fetched him a 60 crore at the Christie auction back in 2010, and his ambitious plan to have 100 boutique retail stores worldwide by 2025 seemed to be on track. However, it was cut back because he was named in the biggest banking fraud in India. In summary, the scale of Nirav Modi's business can be understood in the sense that his personal wealth was estimated to be about $2 billion. And under the Nirav Modi brand, he also owns several companies, primarily the Firestar Diamond, which claims to have more than $2 billion in sales. In 2017, he featured amongst the top 100 richest people in India. But today, because of the PNB fraud, which we'll explain in the next section of the video, he is nowhere on the richest list in the country. The Nirav Modi PNB banking fraud is alleged to have taken place between 2011 and 2017. The fraud was detected in January of 2018 according to the Punjab National Bank management, which approached the Central Bureau of Investigation on January 29th. It is alleged that companies owned by diamond merchants Nirav Modi and Mehul Choksi have swindled Punjab National Bank of over 11,400 crores or 1.8 billion US dollars. It is also speculated that within the reports of magnitude and the scandals, Nirav Modi escaped India early in January after being tipped off about the ongoing investigation. And it is not only Punjab National Bank that was exposed to the fraud. According to sources, Allahabad Bank, Union Bank, State Bank of India and Axis Bank also had exposure to the fraud. Now, of course, since this is a matter of a lot of money, it is very difficult to get into every minute detail. But here is a brief attempt to explain the Punjab National Bank and Nirav Modi scam in the simplest of terms. The two keywords that you have to understand is the letter of undertaking, which is a document that a bank issues that acts as a guarantee or assurance to another bank, and SWIFT, the transmission mode through which the issued LOUs reach other banks and transfer of currency and fund takes place between other countries. The scam allegedly began in 2011 when Nirav Modi from his own company went to Punjab National Bank undertaking a single letter of undertaking, a LOU of around 800 crore, which is a much smaller amount compared to the overall amount of the fraud. The letter of undertaking is a guarantee that a bank is obliged to repay the loan if the actual borrower, Nirav Modi in this case, fails. Now this is where the scam gets into problem, because the first LOU was issued by two Punjab National Bank employees on behalf of the PNB bank via SWIFT, which sanctioned the loans to be dispersed abroad. The two employees which assigned the letter of undertaking to PNB are the center of the scam. The scenario has been explained very simply in a Medium article by Pooja Karji. She proposes a scenario where Nirav Modi spots two greedy guys in PNB. He thinks of making the best use of that and proposes an idea. Let's assume that he offers them an incentive, but in return wants that LOU to be assigned to him on no collateral, which essentially is like giving free money to him in return of a small sum he would pay as an incentive to the greedy people. The PNB employees agree and get convinced and go ahead with the plan. The reason that the scam became so evident is because every LOU issued need to go to PNB's record. The employees decided not to record the LOU at all. What this means is a LOU was issued, but it was never recorded. The result of it was that Nirav Modi had a magic document which he could produce anywhere and get a whole lot of money, which he then went on to do. The scam also goes on wrong in the sense when the credit due on the first letter of undertaking was not paid in time, more LOUs were issued on behalf of PNB to offset the payment. Offsetting the payment means when the borrower did not pay the first 800 crores, the bank ought to have stepped in and booked a default by the group company. Instead, the two PNB employees who were allegedly party to the fraud issued more LOUs on behalf of PNB, asking other banks to give out fresh loans to the firms. This continued until 2 weeks before the whole operation came to light, after some of Nirav Modi's employees visited the bank on 5th of January 2018 and the management was caught napping and the overdue loans exceeded over 11,000 crores. And once the scam came into light, the entire liability of these 11,000 crore came onto PNB. The entire story, of course, has a much bigger scenario, much bigger and more deeper understanding. But for the constraints of this video and the format, the explanation can be simply put down to the fact that Nirav Modi scammed the bank with the help of two employees who had since retired long before the scam even came into light. Let's go on into the next segment of the video where we explore where Nirav Modi is right now and the implications of the scam in the general sense of the country's economy and the public perception of the bank. The biggest question that arises is that how could a central bank, a bank as big as Punjab National Bank, have missed such a big fraud for so many years? The sources close to Punjab National Bank say that the bank is not fully integrated on a core banking system, which should have immediately detected the discrepancy. A core banking system is a backend system that processes daily banking transaction. It posts updates to accounts and other financial records, a centralized software that keeps all records across all branches and is capable of generating alerts over any undue activity. And even though PNB's integration to a CBS was initiated in 2002, the technology took a decade to become developed and it should have been upgraded by 2012, but it was not and it is now getting updated. And it is only because of a lack of a centralized system that could manage the entire bank that two individuals apparently colluded with Nirav Modi and the responsible parties and wrongfully sanctioned fresh loans via SWIFT. There is also an internal role within PNB wherein officials are rotated within departments ideally every few months, but the two accused people involved from the PNB were in the same role in the same branch for nearly 7 years. The biggest risk that has come out of this entire PNB Nirav Modi scam is that a loss of faith has resulted in Punjab National Bank within the public, and other central banks have been at a bigger risk. According to the regulations of the RBI, PNB will have to repay other banks the money which is owed by the firms owned by Nirav Modi. PNB's shareholders may see their wealth reducing further as the 11,300 crore liability is more than a third of the bank's market value. And this is only if the probe does not reveal an even bigger scam which might have taken place. However, all is not failed in this case. Nirav Modi at this point is arrested and is sitting in a jail in London. India is currently in talks within the government of the United Kingdom with the intent of extraditing Nirav Modi back to India. In fact, Nirav Modi himself, told by the PNB CEO, has sent an email where he seeks time to repay the loan and the PNB management has sought out a detailed repayment plan. But within the last few years, the case of fugitive Vijay Mallya and Nirav Modi, both who have continued to thwart the efforts to bring them back to India, is where the strength of the Indian state has to be seen. Nirav Modi and Vijay Mallya, while they believe that the state probe will take as long as a time as it has taken in the past, however, the country's citizen, the tax-paying citizen, want these fraudulent businessmen to come back to India and justice be served. In the end, this was a very superlative explanation of the Nirav Modi Punjab National Bank scam. Of course, there are many intricate details that might have been missed out in this video. I request you to go through the sources in the description to get a much more detailed and fuller picture of the entire scam. Until then, thank you so much for watching this video till the end. There are more episodes in the What Went Wrong series. You can access them with the playlist in the cards and the description as well. I come up with a new episode in the series every Tuesday, so make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it with all the people who want to know about the Nirav Modi case. And thank you again for watching it till the end. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.